Hello, and welcome to Health and PE 10. This video will demonstrate about information on how to complete fitness logs. So, to find this information, you would click on the Welcome tab in the course. The first thing we're going to look at is the Physical Education Log Directions. So you can download the document, Physical Education Log Directions, and here are the directions. Please remember that your physical education logs are 50% of your total grade. There are 10 logs due. There are 10 weeks in the summer course. There are 10 modules. So it's very important that you start the fitness logs as soon as possible. Requirements for each log. You need to meet the following criteria. You need to have 7 hours of physical activity a week or 420 minutes. No more than 120 minutes logged per day. So you can't log more than 120 minutes in one day period. It's suggested by the Center for Disease Control that teenagers get 60 minutes of activity each day. But however, we understand that families go on vacation and there's kids working, so we're allowing 120 minutes per day for at least 4 days. And those 4 days have to add up to 420 minutes. This course is a little different from the 9th grade course as it requires you to take your target heart rate. For at least 20 minutes of that activity, you must be in your target heart rate. And if you scroll down on the document, there's some examples of the age and the target heart rate range. And then the developmental module of the course, it demonstrates how to find your heart rate. So you won't have to buy a piece of equipment. You can simply use your fingers. Now, some of the requirements for the fitness logs. Sports practices and organized practices are limited to 120 minutes per log. These include freshman JV varsity sports practices, games, or open gyms. Club sports practices, games, or open gyms. So for example, if you're on the varsity cross-country team and you've started summer conditioning, you can only use 120 minutes of your varsity freshman or JV sports practices, games, or open gyms. Club sports is also the same thing. Let's say that you swim for the Loudoun County Recreational League. You can only count 120 minutes of your practices, your games, your open gyms. This is just like a normal PE class where you wouldn't be able to count sports and club sports as part of that course. So you have to do a variety of activities. We're allowing 120 minutes per log, so that's what we can do. The 120 minutes also goes for ROTC activities and band camp and practices. So if you're planning on going to band camp this summer, you can't count 420 minutes of band camp. You're going to have to do other activities to meet those requirements. Also, each log has certain topic requirements that you must participate in. For example, one log might have yoga and Pilates that you have to participate in for some portion of that time. It doesn't have to be the whole 420 minutes, but it needs to be a portion of it. And then log it. These are some notes on how to log your activity. Make sure you're active. Look at the physical education log at the start of each module to learn about the topics and what you need to participate in. And then verification. Verification is very important. Signatures will not be allowed. Signatures, again, will not be allowed for verification. So the school had provided move bands for anyone who signed up to get one. There was an email sent out a couple weeks before this course started on how to get move bands. So hopefully you've gotten those if you're wearing them, and reset them so you can open an account with that move band. You can also use your own device, which I highly recommend that you try to use your own Fitbit, Jawbone, Apple Watch, anything that tracks movement or heart rate, and you can get data that aligns with the dates you're active. And then smartphone apps. There are numerous, MapMyFitness, FitU, all the Move pedometers, Under Armour, Nike. There's all kind of smartphone apps that will help you record your data. Now, some of you said you'd be swimming this summer. There's one way really to do this, and you can download MyFitnessPal or MapMyFitness family apps, or an app called Swimming IQ, and basically you're just going to log into those and document the time that you were swimming at the pool, and then record that data and turn it in with the fitness log. So here's an example of a move band. And this is what we're talking about clear. There's the steps are marked, and underneath here is the dates that go along with each step count. So let's go back to the course. Another thing that's very important is the rubric. So let's take a look at the rubric. You can find the rubric under Practice Fitness Logs. So you would click on that, and then Fitness Log Rubric, which is downloaded. I already downloaded, so you click on that, and here is the rubric. So log completed, activity time requirements met is 45 points. So you were at least active 4 days a week, no more than 120 minutes a day, no more than 120 minutes of high school or club activities, type of activities correctly identified, all requirements are met, minimum of 7 hours. The heart rate, it's only worth 5 points. So if you forget to take your heart rate, don't stress out too much of this, only 5 points, and you still can get an A on that fitness log. But to get the 5 points, you have to be in your target heart rate for 20 minutes of each activity, and your heart rate calculation chart is complete and accurate. The reflection questions, this is very important. A lot of you don't like to take the time to answer these completely, and you lose points. Please remember that to earn the 25 points, you have to have 3 to 4 sentences that display content knowledge. And you cannot copy the same 3 or 4 sentences for each answer. Please think about the activities you participated in and reflect on those activities based on the question. And then verification is another 25 points. And if both date and activity times are clearly listed, you will get those 25 points. So let's go back to the course, and let's look at an example of a fitness log. So you would download the physical education log example. And this one in the course would not earn full credit because it's missing all the activity, the topic requirements, but I can explain to you how to do that. So this person was active from 6-1 to 6-7. The activities that they were participating in: yoga, driving range, they danced, they played basketball with friends, they swam laps, they rode their bike, they weight trained. And it lists the type of activity that sport or activity met. So it was flexibility, muscular strength, cardio, muscular endurance. You would list the activity category, whatever one matches with the type of activity you did. And then if you met the topic requirement with that activity, you just put a little check in the box that aligned with the activity. And then you would include your time and then your total time and the target heart rate. This person filled out the chart for your formula. And then they answered each reflection question with 3 to 4 sentences. And then they provided verification. So this person would not earn 100%. However, they would earn probably a 90% because they forgot to check what topic requirement their activity met and the category that it was in. So let's go back to the fitness logs. And we talked about heart rate. So to determine your heart rate, you would go to the Welcome tab. You would scroll down to Developmental Module. And then you would click on Measuring Your Heart Rate. And here are the directions on how to manually measure your heart rate. Most of you already know how to do this, as you were, this was taught in the 7th or 8th grade and probably your 9th grade PE course. So this will just be a refresher. So you can either do it manually with 2 fingers and find your pulse on your wrist, or you can use a heart rate monitor. The easiest way is probably just do it manually. And you can Google, how to measure your heart rate manually, and you can watch a video on how to do that. So that completes this video on fitness logs. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to email your teacher with questions on the logs.